Her name is Arletta Allen, and she's going to be speaking on communication and the heal process. She's going to explain all that to you guys. Let me bring her up here. Are you there? Can you hear us?
I am here. How are you doing today?
We're doing awesome.
Good. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be here with you all today. Really excited.
Yes, yes. Well, we're excited to hear your presentation. So you've got 20, at least 21 minutes to share with us. So take it away.
Well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get right on into it. Hey to everybody out there that's watching us here online. Y'all are really, truly the MVP champions today. And I'm excited to be with you here on today. I'm going to dive right in. How about that? So listen, just because we're talking, it doesn't mean we're connecting. And because words without understanding, they're just noise. And noise doesn't build love, it breaks it. And so today we're not just going to talk about communication, we're going to heal it. How about that? So let me tell y'all about a time when I asked somebody what was wrong. And you know what they said to me? The usual response: nothing's wrong. But the look on their face, their body language and everything told me something totally different. Whether you're married or single, we've all had moments like that where somebody says one thing when they actually mean another. And then suddenly what should have been a simple conversation turns into pure emotional mess. You see, it's because communication in itself isn't just words. It's about connection. And so today, whether you're married, dating, or single, or praying for your partner like me, you're about to get a framework that will shift the way you show up in every single connection and conversation that you make. And why, you may say? Because after 2 marriages and 2 divorces, and now a wife in waiting, myself, I learned a few do's and don'ts along the way. So allow for me to introduce to you my HEAL framework. Somebody say HEAL. If you're out there, I don't care where you are, just go ahead and yell HEAL, because today we're going to heal some things. The HEAL framework is my God-inspired blueprint that I like to apply not only to some areas of my life, but to all areas of my life. HEAL is simple, but it's powerful. It's a powerful tool to help you to learn how to react, to learn how to go from reacting to responding, from confusion to clarity, and lastly, from surviving to thriving in your communication set. Each one of these letters has dual meanings, and I even leave room for you to be able to redefine it for yourself, because I love for people to be able to personalize and personify things. So listen to me, whether you're booed up with your hubby or your wife, or you're in your becoming season like me, the HEAL framework is going to give you something today that money just can't buy. You'll be able to apply it to not some areas of your life, but all areas of your life. The first letter of the HEAL framework is H, and it stands for honesty and to hear with intent. The next letter is E, and it stands for empathy and expression with clarity. The next letter to follow that is A, and it stands for accountability and to align with your purpose. And lastly, the L, to love and let go. So, shall we break it down a little bit? We're going to go ahead and break down these 4 anchors, because they not only create safety and stability in your relationships, they're going to heal more than just your communication. They're going to heal your connection. So let's go ahead and dive in. Let's start with the letter H. Honesty and hearing with intention. Let that thing marinate a little bit. If we're going to be honest and we're going to listen to our partners with intention, what does that really mean? It not only means being honest with yourself and with your partner, it means to truly listen to understand. It means not to argue, to try to fix things. And this matters because you can't solve what you pretend doesn't exist. Yep, I'm going to let that sink in, because sometimes I be saying things and you need to hear it more than once. You can't solve what you pretend does not exist. Hearing with intent means to be fully engaged, present, not distracted or defensive. Do you feel like you can do that? Do you feel in your current circumstances, your current situations, your current relationships, your current job situations, do you feel that you know how to listen and solve without pretending that a problem is just not there? I personally used to listen in relationship just long enough for me to respond. In other words, I wasn't seeking to understand the other person's viewpoint. I wasn't seeking to try to understand what comes next. I wasn't hearing with my heart. I was hearing from my hurt and my offense. And listen, that never ends well. It never ends well. And so honestly, it starts with you. Ask yourself this question. Am I really listening? Am I really listening? We need to learn to hear beyond our words, tune into our tone and our body language, and be able to be responsive to the noise of the silence. Because sometimes, without saying anything at all, that is when we are the loudest. So there's a particular scripture that I like to keep in mind that kind of keeps that particular part of the anchor in place. And it's called James 1:19. And it says, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. So a quick fun question for y'all. How many of y'all have ever listened with your face, but your heart was already over it? I'm guilty. I'm guilty as all get out. What I found is communication is an elephant. We can't eat it all at once. We can't. And so this framework in particular, we've got to consume it one intentional bite at a time. So shall we keep it moving? Let's move into the next part of our framework, which is the letter E. And that stands for empathy and expression with clarity. Empathy and expression is real simple, but however, it's not the easiest one or part of the toolkit that's the easiest to actually implement, because this requires putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Before you open your mouth and when you speak, be clear, be kind, and be honest. If you can't find yourself doing those three, being clear, being kind, and being honest in your response, then guess what? Misunderstandings are going to grow like wildfire. Clarity brings peace, and empathy brings safety. But silence grows with assumptions. It just grows. And just fuels misunderstandings. One time I was in one of my previous marriages, I dropped a hint and I started thinking, you should just know what I'm talking about. We've been together for how many years? 16, 17 years. And you still don't understand. You still don't get what I'm saying without me having to say. But the truth is, sis, he's not psychic. He's not. And bro, listen, your silence is not romantic. It's actually confusing. It actually just fuels that fire. A few key points I want you to take away from empathy and expression. You need to be able to express what you feel and what you need clearly with empathy and not sarcasm. Once again, express what you need with clarity, clearly, with empathy and not sarcasm. You need to speak to your partner in order to connect, not to control them. Because sometimes, y'all know, sometimes we oftentimes will activate that silent treatment in order to try to control our partner's outcome. And that's just no good. Don't expect people to read between the lines if you never wrote the sentence. Good. So good. I'm going to say it again. Don't expect people to read between the lines if you have never wrote the sentence. My mama used to say it all the time this way. And she would say, a closed mouth don't get fed. In other words, can't nobody know what you mean if you don't speak up. In relationships, we must be adamant about creating safe spaces that cultivate, and it gives you a space to be able to express safely without feeling attacked. Is that fair? I think it's fair. Okay. So we're just going to move right along. Let's get into the A of the HEAL framework. And that stands for accountability and aligning with your purpose. What this means is huge. And for all you note takers out there, I want you to stop what you're doing. And if you don't write nothing else down, I need you to write this. You need to start owning your part of the conversation. Because yes, some of the things you be saying are triggering. Some of the things you say oftentimes get a response that's not the response you're looking for. But you want to make sure that whatever you're saying, that it actually supports your shared goals and values within the relationship. If what you're saying is causing an outside and outward angry offensive response, then you need to be aware of what it is you're saying and how your partner would respond to it. That's called accountability. So blame comes in and it comes to divide. If whenever a situation pops off and your partner comes to you and tells you that they don't understand why you don't understand where they're sitting or where they were coming from when they expressed or said what they had to say, and the first thing you do is blame, you're pointing fingers here, there, and everywhere. Everybody's to blame but you. We have to be accountable for the words that we speak out of our mouth. And even more importantly, you have to know that accountability helps us to be able to grow. It helps us to be able to bring forth unity and grow. And let's just be honest. When it comes to relationships, we should not be in relationships to win arguments. You should be there to protect what you all are building. If you are married and you're in an ongoing relationship and you guys are locked in for life, everything that you do and say and every outward expression should be something that unifies, something that looks towards the overall goal, the destiny mark, the legacy mark, whatever it is that you're building. So key points for accountability and alignment today are going to be own your own part. Whatever that part that agitated, irritated, stepped in there and tried to take things left, don't deflect and don't deny, and definitely don't delay. Don't let time sit in between the time it takes for you to be accountable to your actions. Because the longer you sit, remember those misunderstandings we talked about earlier, the longer they brew. You want to speak words that align with your relationship's purpose. Speak words that edify. Amos 3:3 said it like this: can two walk together except they be agreed? I'm going to ask you that question. Can they? Can two married folks, two committed people in a relationship, can y'all walk together unless you guys are agreeing on the direction that you're going? In order for you to understand the totality of this framework, you have to understand that you have to come together and agree. In order to heal communication, it has to be a genuine effort from both ends. And have you just think about this for a second. When those irritations and agitations have happened in your relationship, have you ever been the first one to say, I'm sorry, just to try to keep the peace? Because listen, after you've argued and had it out and slept on the couch and that one went that way and that one went that way, you get sick and tired of seeing the same broken distraction over and over and over again until you start to do something different. And different is important. Sometimes when you see that motion and the decisions that you're making in communication are not working, it's time to shift gears and do something different. And guess what? That's okay. You might have been the first one to say, hey, I'm sorry, whatever this is, I'm sorry for it, just to keep the peace. But you know, on the side, you still had an appetizer of attitude that you was brewing. So come on. What you did was suppress that. You suppress your true feelings. And because you didn't feel safe in a space with your partner, you just called it something else. So we got to get beyond being offensive and defensive. And you know what? The better you start to be more aware of how you respond in communicating between you and your partner, the better the relationship will become, and the more freeing the relationship will be when you all communicate amongst each other. And just think about it. This will lead us into our final anchor of this framework, and it's the L, final, H-E-A-L. And what does L stand for? It stands for love and let go. Love and let go. Let your love show up with how you speak and respond to your partner. And let go of the need to be right all the time. I'm just going to go ahead and free somebody today. You're never right all the time. I don't care how good you may think that you are. You could never be right all the time. And it's okay to digress, to simply just keep peace, and also give your partner that space and room that they need to feel like they're seen and heard and validated. It's very helpful. So your need to feel right, oftentimes it comes to control and it also carries old baggage. In other words, things that you guys have resolved amongst each other, things that you have let go and moved on from. If you have a need to feel right, what you'll do is you'll go and you'll reach back and you'll grab that bag of what y'all forgave each other for, and you'll be like, but you remember when, you remember how, and now all of a sudden that past problem has now become a present problem. But y'all buried that. So why'd you go take a shovel and dig it up? Because you felt defensive. And that's an error that we make oftentimes in our communication. You can't build a future while clinging to past wounds. Love in itself softens and it allows for healing to begin. So I like to say it this way: I love you more than I love being right. So let's move forward together. Can y'all say that with me? I love you more than I love being right. You know what I'm saying? Your partner should mean that much more to you. Okay, my feelings is all jacked up, and yeah, I'm a little bit on the defensive side, but I love you more than I love being right in this situation. You deserve to have rest, and you deserve to have peace in our situation. So how can I edify that? How can I be the one that activates that tool in our relationship? I need you to understand today that sometimes love means letting go of being right, of old pain, of past stuff that just simply doesn't serve your future, and where you all have come together and decreed and declared this is where we're going. So you have to love them enough to be able to release pride, pettiness, and a need to win. Because who truly wins if you two fall apart? Who actually is the gain? What is the gain other than the enemy of our souls? Because he hates unity. He hates to see married couples win together, love together, stay strong together. I mean, divorce is on a rampant because so many people are just so selfish. No one's willing to compromise their own feelings to see the feelings of the other. And that's what this framework does. It puts it all back together. So we learn with intentionality that we need to heal from past things, let them go, and continue to love, because love answers all things. Ephesians 4:29 said, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth. So whatever it is that you're saying to your partner, however it is that you're interacting with them, I need you to check yourself. You need to check yourself, because you need to be an intricate one who definitely gives over to the growth and the communication and the connection in your relationship. So today, I would like to leave you with this final charge and call to action. Communication in itself is more than just talking. It's a ministry. One more time. Communication in itself is more than just talking. It's a ministry. Whether you're learning to love again, love better, or even loving yourself, like the stage that I'm in right now currently, let your words reflect your heart's need and readiness to be able to build with someone, to be able to invite someone into that space. Whether you're married out there and you're learning communication effectively amongst each other, or you're single like me and you're out there and you're trying to figure it out, but you're a woman in waiting, or you're a man who's looking for his wife, whatever that may be, work on you at this time. Learn how to communicate effectively so that when that partner comes, it is a safe place. It's a safe place for them and for you, for both of us to be able to grow. Let your tone match your prayers. So whatever your heart really is for that individual that's in that relationship with you, that spouse, whoever God has called forth into your life to love and to honor, to respect, allow for the love that you feel for them. Allow for the tone and your body language and all of that when it comes to interacting with them and communicating with them. Allow for your prayers to match that. And most of all, allow for love to lead the way, because love answers all things. Love is the complete and total answer for all things. If your words are bitter, if they are cruel, if they're not doing exactly what they're supposed to do, then guess what? You're missing the mark. And ultimately, there's an ultimate mark that we're all after. We can't miss that. Let your speech always be with grace and seasoned with salt. Yeah, you thought those were just my words. No, that's Colossians 4:6. So today, going forward, I want to challenge you. Don't just speak, heal, be honest, be empathetic, be accountable. And lastly, love and let go of the things that no longer serve you. This will increase your communication, and these tools activated in your life right now today can touch every area of your life and edify that relationship like never before. Once again, my name is Miss Coach Arletta Allen, and I'm so grateful to have been here today to be able to share these tools with you. God bless you.
Ooh, coach. You speak our language.
We are healed.
Yes, come on, healing. Yes. Oh my goodness.
You don't know how you just oh, you just don't know.
I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful to have been here with you on today. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And I just, in my heart, I've learned some ups and downs in marriage, you know, and I know that one of the best things that I ever learned was to be honest with my feelings. But I can't be honest in a space that wasn't created for my safety. Right. And in order for us to grow in communication, we have to create safe spaces for each other. So that we both meet each other in the middle somewhere. No one has to be right and nobody has to be wrong, but we do have to make it our business to heal in our communication.
Amen.
You're so right, sister. Well spoken. Well
Thank
spoken.
You.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. We love you.
Love you too.
Okay. We're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, our next speaker is in the studio. So she's going to be joining us here in just a moment, but we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.